All right, welcome back. So now I just want to talk a little bit about the budget side of things, talk about my plan. Now, just a little bit about me so you understand where I'm coming from. Now, I'm an investor. I understand money very, very well. And maybe that's something that we can talk a little bit about over time as well, is, finances and saving, investing, these kinds of things. I love learning about money, I love growing, and I love pushing myself. And this van thing, I don't need to do it. It's just been a dream of mine for years. All my friends are trying to tell me that I should do this as well, I should try it at some stage, because I'm exactly the kind of person that would do well doing this. Now, you've seen my van. It's got a long way to go. Don't judge me too much yet. It's only been 2 months, and it's already coming along very nicely. It's very comfortable. And I have just been doing a big drive from Sydney up to Brisbane. I'm going to be meeting up with a friend of mine from Thailand. Now, I was living in Thailand for 5 years. As I mentioned before, I was doing Muay Thai there. And that's because I retired 7 years ago. So I retired when I was 40. I've been very, very lucky with the life that I have, but I don't say that it's lucky because I have always done everything I can to be on top of my finances and to take advantage of everything I possibly can. If government is willing to offer you tax breaks in certain areas, then if it's legal, you should try and do that as much as you can. Understanding the money system, everybody should do that. But this challenge for myself is something that I have given myself to do, and it's a bit of fun, and I don't know how it's going to go. But so far it's been going quite well. And my challenge is $1,000 a month. Now in Australia, if you know the cost of anything here, rent alone in somewhere like Sydney is $30,000 to $50,000 a year. So that's like $1,000 a week just for rent. So when you're talking about the idea of living a whole month on $1,000, it starts to sound like a little bit unrealistic, except I've been doing it and it's been working. So it's obviously possible. And yeah, I don't have any major issues at the moment. I'm not including things like, the cost of my investments or, certain things like that. So if I had to, fix my van, so if the van had an issue, a fault, obviously that wouldn't be in my budget. So those would be extra costs. But just to try and keep a budget. Now, how I've done it is $1,000 a month works out to about $230 a week. $230 a week, I break that down by saying $100 in fuel, because I don't really want to be staying in the same place for too long. But in saying that, also try not to move around too much, because there was a stage there where I was spending probably like $50 a day in fuel because I was just traveling too much. So staying in a place for 2 or 3 days and then not doing too much traveling in between. Like as I said before, when I drive, I do charge my battery at the same time. That is obviously very useful, but if I watch my power usage, then I can make it work. And so far, this battery system that I have has been doing just fine. Anyway, so then the other $130 is pretty much for my shopping and food and coffees. How I choose to break that down is up to me. If I'm doing well, basically $32 a day is my budget, really, if I wanted to work it out that way. So today, what have I spent so far? Well, I can have coffee here. I can make my own food here. Occasionally I've got to go to the supermarket and pick up a few things to obviously continue doing that. I'm always buying stuff that's on sale. I know each of the supermarkets have certain things that are better priced than other supermarkets, so I'll go specifically to certain supermarkets. I'll buy all the things that I would usually buy in that supermarket. And if they have some sales, I might buy that as well. So, I don't hold back on getting good food. I really believe in having high quality food. I do believe that you should be careful with processed foods. I do try and watch my weight. I do try and eat properly, and I think that everybody should do that. At my age, it gets scary. It starts getting harder if you don't look after yourself. So, the $230 a week does seem to be working quite well so far. But after a month and a half of setting the van up, obviously the setup costs are going to be quite high. I'm not including that in my budget, obviously. And once that's all up and running, then we're just talking about regular ongoing maintenance costs, which is just food and fuel and so on like that. So I will say that so far it's been going quite well. I think the ability to cook is a really, really big thing that I have to push home because, for example, I can go to the shop and I can buy a hot dog for $7, $7 to $9, and then or I can make one here and it's probably going to cost me $1, something like that. So the markup on things in the shops is outrageous. Today I did buy myself a pie at the shop. I've been in Asia for the last 5 years, and I miss having a pie. So again, I don't mind enjoying my life. So I had a pie and I had a coffee. It was about $11, still well under my $32 for the day, and I feel like I'm doing quite well with that. So anyway, keep following me, and we shall see how we go, and I'll be showing you the upgrades on my van. There are a lot of areas that I know a lot about as well, so we can go into those a bit further over time. Like I said, I talk about the investing side of it, the money side, the saving side. I don't know why in schools they don't really teach people about money, but if you really want financial freedom, then you have to learn how money works, and then you can have that financial freedom. I mean, I'm choosing to do this. I don't have to do this. I own properties. I was living overseas for many years. I didn't have to work, and I've just been enjoying myself. I'm back in Australia. It's very, very expensive here. The costs have gone up, so inflation here is incredibly high. It's really bad. We have an inflationary environment. I do believe that the money system is breaking as we speak. So I think that it's good to look at options. Power bills are going up here. That's not going to be an issue for me. I mean, yeah, maybe the costs of me buying groceries will go up because of things going up, but it's not going to affect my power because it's from the sun. So yeah, maybe my petrol costs will go up. So maybe I'll be paying for in other ways. But it's never going to impact me the same way that it's going to impact the average person that has put themselves in a tough situation. So hopefully you'll stick around and learn more. I'll give you more updates on how things are going with the van. We'll be looking to do insulation. It is winter at the moment, so it's not too bad. We have, the van came with nothing in it apart from these, I don't know what they put on the walls here, but some kind of, I'm not even sure what that is actually. Yeah, I'm not sure. They put some coverings on there. I'm not really sure what they are. But they don't look like to be any decent insulation. They certainly don't work anyway. And I've got 6 months before summer, so I'll be looking to get that sorted out. I might look at upgrading to a bigger van next year, which I'd like to really deck out properly with proper cabinets and carcasses, and set it up properly with full kitchen, bathroom, all that kind of stuff. Ideally, if I can do that as much myself, that would be great. But the main focus on this one here is the battery, getting the battery charging area done, the bench for seating, and the insulation. That'll be the next 3 things, which I'll be talking to you about over time. And yeah, so anyway, have a good day.